This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. Thanks to a boost in sales and cost-cutting measures, General Motors had an impressive first quarter. The automaker sold 895,000 vehicles globally in the first 3 months of the year, which is a 3.5% increase. That helped boost revenue to $43 billion, a gain of more than 7%. Its adjusted earnings before interest and taxes hit $3.9 billion, up 2%, and it posted a net profit of $2.9 billion, which was a 24% increase. GM said it cut fixed costs by $300 million in the first quarter, mainly in marketing and engineering, but it wants to cut those costs by a total of $2 billion by the end of the year. And thanks to its strong results, GM raised its profit forecast for the full year. While there's a lot of concern from the U.S. government about Chinese EVs entering the market, American car buyers are open to purchasing one. According to a new consumer survey from AlixPartners, 58% of buyers in the U.S. are aware of Chinese brands, and 73% would consider purchasing a Chinese BEV if it was priced 20% below a non-Chinese brand. The survey also found that the percentage of buyers that are very or moderately likely to buy an EV in both the US and Europe remained flat compared to 3 years ago, 35% for the US and 43% for Europe. Meanwhile, in China, that number jumped to 97%. AlixPartners says the long-term outlook for EVs remains favorable, but in the short term, buyers in the U.S. are pivoting to plug-in hybrids as a substitute. Tesla is getting a new mapping system in China. While the EV maker pretty famously builds many of its own components in-house, it's always outsourced its maps and navigation system. In most parts of the world, Tesla uses Google Maps for some of the visuals on its screen and another company called Mapbox for its navigation. But in China, it has a partnership with tech company Baidu, and it's about to start rolling out its new version 20 of Baidu Maps. The system offers better in-car navigation, 3D graphics, and is compatible with autonomous vehicles as well as a number of different operating systems. New and existing Tesla owners will be the first to get Baidu Maps V20 this May, but Baidu says 4 other automakers will also use the system. Tesla has the lowest maintenance costs of any car brand in the U.S., and that's according to a new survey from Consumer Reports, which asked its members how much they paid out of pocket for maintenance and repairs during the previous 12 months. And when comparing costs by brand over a 10-year period, Tesla had the lowest maintenance costs at just over $4,000. It was followed by Buick and Toyota at $4,900. But meanwhile, at the other end of the spectrum, Land Rover owners paid out a whopping $19,250 in repair costs over a 10-year period, which is easily the most of any brand. It's even $5,000 more than Porsche owners, which is the next highest.
At Teijin Automotive Technologies, we combine world-class composite materials expertise with cutting-edge designs because, frankly, there are better ways to lightweight vehicles. So lighten up with Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility.
Kia is coming out with its first pickup truck called the Tasman next year, and like we thought, it's a more traditional-looking truck. It's hard to tell if it's a body-on-frame truck like the Ford Ranger or Toyota Tacoma, or if it's unibody like the Honda Ridgeline or Hyundai Santa Cruz. I would note that it doesn't have the normal separation between the cab and the bed like a traditional truck, but Kia also says it will easily fill the role of both a work truck as well as a personal truck. The Tasman will be fully revealed next year and will be sold in Korea, Australia, Africa, and the Middle East. Now let's shift our focus over to EVs, and we'll start with winter testing of the new Range Rover Electric in the Arctic Circle at temps as low as -40 degrees. This is the best look yet we've had at Range Rover's first electric vehicle, and the design stays mostly the same, with a bit of EV-specific styling thrown in. The model will feature at least 2 electric drive units, and because it can distribute power to each one individually, Range Rover says its traction control system can react even faster and will improve its capabilities in all situations. Next, the Range Rover Electric is off to the searing heat of deserts in the Middle East. Our next new EV is the all-new Opel Grandland SUV. It now sits on Stellantis' STLA Medium platform, which offers a number of powertrain options. As a BEV, it will be available with a 98 kilowatt-hour battery pack that will return an estimated 700 kilometers or 435 miles of range. There's a plug-in version as well, and while there's no info on that setup right now, Opel did say it offers up to 85 kilometers or 52 miles of all-electric range. And lastly, there will also be a 48-volt mild hybrid setup, but again, no details on that powertrain. All 3 versions will roll down the same assembly line in Germany, but that plant required a 130 million euro investment that includes a new area for battery pack assembly. But no word on when the new Grandland will launch yet. It looks like Smart wants to come out with bigger models because it just pulled the wraps off the massive concept number 5. Well, at least massive for the brand, which is known for its tiny cars. It's actually a mid-size SUV that sits on parent company Geely's SEA platform, which is used for various Geely, Smart, Volvo, and Zeekr vehicles of all different sizes. Smart says it's been adapted to an 800-volt architecture and features its biggest battery yet at over 100 kilowatt-hours, which will allow for faster charging and over 550 kilometers or 341 miles of range. No word on market launch, but the production version of the number 5 will be shown off in the second half of this year. Chinese automaker Chery continues to expand in Europe. Last week it formed a joint venture with EV Motors to build vehicles in Spain, and now it's formed another joint venture with commercial electric van startup Be-On, which is based in Europe. Chery is an investor in Be-On and will provide capital to fund the JV as well as offer engineering support. Earlier today, the 2 companies unveiled their first model called the Pelkin. 2 battery sizes are available, 43 or 54 kilowatt hours, which will provide ranges between 226 to 279 kilometers or 140 to 173 miles. The companies plan to start delivering the Pelkin to customers in Europe in the middle of the year. That brings us to the end of today's show. Thanks for tuning in.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering, boost your game. And by Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility.
Keeping your heart racing in and out of the gym. That's what really matters. Bridgestone Potenza Sport AS tires with a 50,000-mile limited warranty.
Intrepid's NeoVi Pi, allowing automotive engineers to interface, capture, and monitor vehicle data using Raspberry Pi. As a matter of fact, it's the automotive industry's first robust platform for Raspberry Pi, featuring Intrepid CAN-FD technology and Raspberry Pi compute module. The NeoVi Pi is designed for automotive environments, allowing use with relative power ranges and applications. In addition, the NeoVi Pi enables you to use the Raspberry Pi for compute while avoiding additional development to adapt to network environments. That makes the NeoVi Pi powerful enough to solve your vehicle network problems, yet small enough to fit in your backpack. One of many Intrepid tools used for developing zonal architecture and software-defined vehicles.